everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Imaginary Boys. I am one of your two hosts, Mr. Habanero, and I have my secondary host, Mr. Lettuce. How are you doing, Mr. Lettuce?
Hello, fellow gamers.
Was that what you were intending to say? I thought for a minute you were going to say something else when you stuttered there.
No, that's what I meant to say. Is hello, fellow gamers.
Hello, fellow gamers. Well, I figure this might be a good opportunity to kind of fill everybody in. I am pretty much over being really sick for the most part. I'm still dealing with some minor leftover stuff, but obviously my throat is a lot better, so I can actually kind of speak again with like as if I actually mean it. And I'm still quarantined in my apartment. My job is not super excited about the fact that I am quarantining myself in my apartment for so long, but that's just kind of how it is, and I kind of don't care. So they're going to have to put up with it, and obviously here I am having to put up with it as well. So there you go. That's kind of the update on the spicy sick boy, I guess. So yeah, figured we might talk about some gaming and stuff a little bit today. I think we kind of wanted to. Lettuce was telling me you wanted to talk about some Pokemon stuff, and I thought that'd be kind of fun too, because I had some thoughts about some Pokemon stuff as well. So, what are you feeling like for Pokemon, buddy? How you feeling?
I don't know if you know this, but the new Pokemon game, Pokemon Legends Arceus, is coming out in
Yeah,
a
no,
week.
I've heard about it a little bit. I didn't know it was coming out that soon, though.
Yeah, that's coming out next Friday.
Yeah, I remember seeing some previews for it and thinking how funny it would be if because like the funniest parts of it that I thought were seeing the monsters like attacking the trainers, and I'm like, man, if those hit, that guy's dead. Like, you know what I mean? So kind of you're gonna have to when you actually get a chance, because I assume you're probably going to play it when it comes out. I would assume,
Oh,
knowing you know.
I've got 2 copies pre-ordered.
Yeah, so I assume you're going to tell me all about like what the Pokemon death screen looks like when
Oh, I've already
Snorlax
seen it.
lands on you.
I've already seen it.
Oh, really? They already have it out?
Oh, well, we've seen a gameplay trailer with the character dying.
You can actually die in the game?
Eh, you have blackout,
Okay.
and you drop some items, and then you
That's different. I kind of like that.
go back to the closest camp or whatever.
I kind of like the fact that they actually want to punish you when you know get hit or knocked out or whatever it is. I kind of like that. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't remember. Wasn't it like, didn't they used to have it so that in some of the Pokemon games, in the older games, if you blacked out, like you lost money or something like that? Is that something I'm remembering right?
Well, I mean, so if your entire team wiped in a trainer battle, yeah, you lost money.
Yeah.
If your entire team wiped in a random field battle, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But I don't think you ever lost money in that situation.
Mm. Well, yeah, you're not going to give a random wild monster your
Your lunch money.
dollars.
I was like Zood's holding a knife to your throat. Okay, give me your lunch money.
Gonna go buy myself a Snickers bar after this.
Give me your lunch money.
And that's the thing too, is because like one of the most mind-blowing things to me when I was a kid was you don't really understand like what the polka dollar is until you get older, and then you realize, oh, it's based off of yen. So like when you like have like when it's like, oh, you've gotten 500 polka dollars, it's like, it's not 500 polka dollars, that's like $5. Like,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
$5, bro.
Yeah, it's $5, like 500 Poké dollars. It's like, okay, great, I can get a cheeseburger.
Yeah, that's exactly. I
But the
mean,
thing is, and you like, and then you realize that, but then you realize this, like you're like this kid's like cough, like this kid, because you inevitably take like a middle schooler
hmm
and like or like an old element, like a fifth grader.
hmm
He locks eyes with you. He's like, "Yeah, let's do a Pokemon battle," and you're like,
give me your
"Do it."
money, kid.
And then he like throws out like his like level 2 like vendor trash
his
Pokemon.
like his Caterpie.
Yeah, his Caterpie, like his unevolved level 2 Caterpie, and for some straight. And the thing is like this is one of those like battles that you skipped,
Yeah.
like because you can't skip these battles. You're like, I don't need to fight all these trainer battles, but you accidentally like hit his line of sight,
Yeah,
and then he's
you're
like,
shiny training after the Pokemon League.
yeah, yeah. You're like, I'm actually on my way to win the Pokemon League. Uh, I've got the Zapdos, and they're like, go Squirtle, and oh, this is gonna end well for you, will it? Use tackle.
They just like they like run like full body into you, and it's kind of like, that like if you could imagine like a Zapdos sticking his foot out and like grabbing the Squirtle by the head, and the Squirtle's like running at him trying to like punch him. Eh, eh.
Yeah. So after it's all done, and then after it's done, the kid's like, oh well, here's my 500. And the thing is like you see that amount 500, and then you realize like, but then like you get a little, you wise up to it, and you realize that like it is based on yen, so they're like that's like at the most 750.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're like, and then you look at the kid and you're like, oh, did I just take your lunch money? Mine now, bitch.
Like it's kind of like
All your cheeseburgers are belong to me.
in some of the Pokemon games where they have the schoolhouses, right, where they teach you like the rules of Pokemon, like, oh, this is what paralyzed status means, this is what freeze status means, and then there's like some like little kid trainers in there that like want to fight you.
Oh yeah, it's the best place to find youngsters.
Yeah, and like at that point you're just a schoolyard bully.
Yeah, you're like okay.
Yeah, kid, give me your lunch money, man. Meet you in the park after school by the swing set. I'll bring out my level 80 Zapdos, and you'll have to fork over your $5. I'll go out and I'll buy a Kit Kat bar. It'll be great. Yeah, there's a reason. Like during my playthrough of Emerald, which I will eventually continue. I know. I actually have a one person who is apparently a huge fan of my Emerald playthrough, and he's constantly leaving me comments on other videos, and he's like, so when is the Emerald playthrough coming back?
Shut up, kid.
It will return eventually one day. So don't let that die. Don't let that die. But anyways, when I was playing Emerald, I would always joke around. I'd like, after I'd beat a trainer, I'd be like, thanks for the $5, kid. Because like when you say like, oh, I got 500 Poké dollars, like that makes it sound like it's like this amazing feat. Like, yeah, I just made like 500 Poké dollars from battling that guy. Man, it was so worth it. But it's like if you walk out of a battle with a kid and you're like, thanks for the $5, kid, you just sound like an asshole. And I love it. Literally taking candy from a baby. Oh man. So yeah, you're excited about the the Arceus thing. So like so they punish you for like, they make you like drop items and stuff like that.
Well, yeah. So my understanding of Pokemon Arceus
Yeah.
is it's not at all a traditional Pokemon game.
Which is cool. I like that. Like, I actually think that that's awesome. It's refreshing that they're
Like,
officially stepping away from the original formula.
well,
Sort of.
in a way, in the way that the Pokemon Company usually does,
Yeah.
which means they'll retreat back for the actual Gen 9 game. But no, so what it looks like this game
Mm-hmm.
is it's kind of like Pokemon Snap,
Oh,
except because your mission isn't, to beat certain things. Your mission isn't to win the Pokemon tournament.
right.
Your mission actually is to develop global first Pokedex, because this takes place a thousand years before Diamond and Pearl,
Okay.
in a ancient
Why
form of
why specify Diamond and Pearl?
because they have declared that this is an ancient form of the Sinnoh region,
Oh, okay. Huh.
which is why we have Arceus.
Right. All right. I mean, I would have just assumed that maybe they just developed a new region and just so happened to be using Arceus, cuz
No. This is a ancient form of the Sinnoh region,
hmm.
and it's called Hisui. And what it looks like is your goal is to build the first Pokedex. And
Why
you don't build your Pokedex by merely catching the Pokemon. You actually got to research the Pokemon.
why is the region a different name? I thought you said it was Sinnoh.
I mean, Istanbul used to be Constantinople.
Okay. All right.
Like, I think you're thinking a little too deep onto that one little detail.
Well, just like like I mean, I don't know. It just sounded weird. Like I was wondering, like, is it a different continent? But it's like in the like I don't know.
No, same continent, Sinnoh. Mount Coronet is right there in the background.
Hmm.
So you have that. It's Sinnoh, a thousand years before the events of Diamond and Pearl, and it's called Hisui.
Hmm. Okay.
Um,
Is it
and
the original like which universe is it in the Pokemon multiverse? Which universe is it? Is it the because that's actually important. There's actually for anybody who isn't deeply involved in Pokemon lore, which I used to be. There's actually two specific. I mean, first of all, it's important to note that they established that every single game is its own individual universe within a large infinite multiverse. So like my goal, the classic saying is my diamond is its own universe and your diamond is its own universe, and they're not directly connected in the same universe. But ignoring that,
uh,
um,
they've broken that for Sword and Shield.
really, that doesn't make sense. But okay,
Yeah, if you fire a Pokemon Sword, if you fire up Sword and Shield, and you
yeah.
go into a wild area, you could
Mhm.
see me in your wild area.
Well, yeah, but so the whole thing is when they established the idea of the same games being different universes, it was to explain why certain legendary Pokemon can be duplicated across games.
Right,
So
right, right.
like but there's also the idea like so for example that would apply to say Arceus itself because there's only one Arceus. But the idea is that there's only one Arceus in any one specific universe and each universe is divided by
And
which
and
each
each
ownership
player
of game.
and each player has their own instance of that universe.
Yeah. But completely ignoring that weird little thing that they use specifically to explain that one specific weirdness, there's actually two timelines where in one timeline, mega the mega thing, the mega evolution or whatever, is exists, and then there's another universe where another timeline where it doesn't exist. And the idea was that that was for the purpose of separating Ruby and Sapphire and Emerald from Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. So, and also Delta, the Delta storyline as well. So like, and they actually like talk about it. If you ever played, it was actually really cool in the DLC, the Emerald Delta DLC for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. That's actually, they actually explained that that timeline is actually important to what's going on in the story of that game.
Right.
So
It's
they,
how they explain it's how they explain mega evolutions in previous generations.
yeah. So
Uh, I've not seen mega evolutions in this game.
okay, so it might be on the timeline of probably the original. Well, that would actually make sense because that would be in line with the original Sonoa timeline, which is
Yeah,
Diamond and Pearl. So then I'd have to ask: is the Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl? Did they have mega evolutions in it?
I don't know. I didn't play.
Okay, I don't know anything about those. I actually heard that those games didn't do very well, but
Well, they
um,
didn't do very well because they didn't do a lot of the they didn't do a lot of the stuff that people got used to, like in uh ORAS
mhm.
with the mega evolutions.
Yeah,
So, and you know, Alpha Sapphire or Mega Ruby were actually Emerald games because it had essentially the
the
Emerald content.
DLC. Yeah, the
Yeah,
DLC.
yeah. Uh, Brilliant BDSP does not have platinum content.
That's too bad. Did they have the well, I mean you wouldn't know cuz you didn't play it, but
I
if
think
you
it did have the platinum decks.
did it have the distorted world?
No.
Well, that's lame cuz that's what platinum was all about. Oh well. Um Man, I actually was hoping to find a cheap copy of platinum, but it's like a collector's item now. It's so damn expensive. Cuz I wanted to replay platinum.
BDSP does not have mega evolutions.
Ah, okay. That's interesting.
So it is not in the mega evolution. So it's not in the mega evolution line.
Okay, so it's literally a remake of the original Diamond and Pearl, but lacking features from the original Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's so sad.
Well, no, it's a screen for screen remake of Diamond and Pearl, but lacking
Like,
any of the niceties from the remake
yeah.
from the previous remakes, like adding the platinum stuff.
Well, so like, did they have the underground in BDSP?
Yeah, they actually expanded on the underground a little bit in
Okay.
BDSP.
Did they have all of the really useful touchscreen features that the original Diamond and Pearl had? Like the step counter, the stopwatch, the coin flipper. What else was really useful?
I don't know.
They had the interactable map with markers and creature tracking. Um, Diamond and Pearl were great games with all those additional touchscreen features. Like that, they were great. Like they also had didn't they have like an egg thing, like where it would like keep track of like your eggs and how long it took to like hatch them? Like I think that's primarily what the step tracker was for. But
Yeah, I think
um,
that's. I don't know. Again, I didn't follow BDSP all that closely
yeah,
because I didn't have any interest in it.
yeah, neither did I. But like, because like not having because those touchscreen features in Diamond and Pearl and Platinum were great. They were actually legitimate. In fact, actually, people were really upset in the future games that they took the touchscreen features away because they actually added useful mechanics to the game when you were playing Diamond and Pearl and Platinum. But that's why I would think like if BDSP didn't have those features, it would literally be a watered down version of the original Diamond and Pearl. But it's whatever. Um,
Yeah. So back to Arceus.
sorry,
Yeah.
go for it.
No. So you research the Pokemon, which is why I say the game is actually a lot like Pokemon Snap.
Hmm.
Because at the end of the day, you're taking pictures and researching the Pokemon. Except for here, you're researching in more of an up close and kind of personal way,
That's kind of cool.
including. But there's crafting in this game.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can collect ore and make your own Pokeballs.
Pokécraft.
Yeah, you got crafting. You can make potions and Pokeballs.
Okay.
Like it's my initial response of, hey, this looks a little bit like Breath of the Wild. After seeing a couple of gameplay trailers, I'm like, yeah, this looks a lot like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, but you like Breath of the Wild. It's kind of like that. You know what? It's actually really funny because like Game Freak, you know why they always make the same game over and over again. It's because they know the formula works. So if you think about it, they're still doing exactly what they were doing before. It's just it's no longer the original Pokemon formula. It's now the Breath of the Wild formula.
Right. Except for I honestly don't think that this will be like how mainline games are going. They confirm that we do have trading.
Okay.
I just nobody knows what that will entail and what kind of benefits that will have. Given that these Pokemons uh have different stat bases,
Mm-hmm.
this is probably going to be closer to the Pokemon Go um stat bases than the standard Eevee
Right.
stat
So
stat bases. So we don't even know if we don't know how these Pokemon are going to interact with Pokemon Home.
okay.
Probably probably something along the lines of a conversion like they did for Pokemon Let's Go Eevee.
I was just about to bring up the Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee for multiple reasons. Because first of all, when you
Let's Go
said
is
that it
on the Mega Evolution line, timeline, by the way.
no, actually, what I was about, do they actually have Mega Evolutions in Let's
Yeah,
Go? I mean,
yeah,
really?
yeah.
Because it's actually what I was going to bring up was that Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu take place in a timeline when it's actually weird. So there's actually a splitting timeline in what was it? Sun and Moon, where which is really weird. I remember like learning about this quite some time ago when I was really into like Sun and Moon theories. Um, Especially during like the Let's Go stuff. Apparently, Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu take place in the timeline where Necrozma eats the sun and like destroys everything and like resets the world basically. So like Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu are take place in the universe that occurs after Necrozma consumes everything and then recreates the Big Bang and starts over the entire universe.
Okay, this is starting to sound like Zelda timeline bullshit.
I'm serious. Like you know what? I'll send you a video because I remember watching a video that talks about it. There's it's there's like a museum in Let's Go Eevee or Let's Go Pikachu where they show like an ancient tablet hanging on the wall. And if you look at it, there's like a picture of Necrozma from Sun and Moon, and he like consumes all of the light in the universe, and he goes supernova and then explodes. And then they show the creation of like the universe after that event occurs. It's really wild, like deep lore in in Pokemon games.
I mean, it's a great way to explain it because the Let's Go line, from what I hear, they plan on having more Let's Go games.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I mean that allows the Let's Go games to be uh, a basically a third
Yeah.
a third remake of the established regions.
Yeah. I just thought it was really kind of cool that they did a storyline that has lore based on the idea that the hero in Sun and Moon, the main character, fails.
Yeah,
Like that's kind of cool. But you're right, it is kind of like because they have like a timeline like that in Legend of Zelda, where there's
Yeah,
like a story of there's a timeline where where
where
Link,
the hero of time where Link fails an Ocarina of Time,
yeah,
and that's the Wind Waker
yeah, the
timeline.
Wind Waker timeline.
Yep.
Yeah, super interesting. But yeah, it just goes to show you that they do that kind of stuff in Pokemon too. But um, yeah, so you think that that would actually kind of make a lot more well, no, because Let's Go had megas, you said. So
I mean, but
if
the thing is if if the if Necrozma eats the sun
yeah.
and
Well,
kind of supernovas everything,
yeah.
the mega evolution keys are kind of in that material
Hmm.
that got sucked in and blown out.
Did Sun and Moon have megas? I thought they
Yeah,
didn't have.
Sun and Moon natively had megas.
Okay, so that does make sense then.
If
Okay.
they weren't in Sun and Moon, they were definitely in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, Pokemon's so deep, man. um yeah, but that so you think that the Arceus takes place in like the kind of the because you said they have similar mechanics to Let's Go, in other words like the catching and stuff like that, right?
No, no, no. It's not the Let's Go timeline.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I must have misremembered that.
No, no, it's definitely not the Let's Go timeline because the catching mechanic is still is it's different because you don't necessarily get into a Pokemon battle with the Pokemon that you see in front of you.
Right.
Um, you can stealth attack it,
Mm-hmm.
like sneak up to it, throw your weighted throw your made of rock Pokeball because
Is it actually made of rocks?
it's crafted of rock and wood.
That's weird. I thought for sure they would go the apricorn route like they did in Gold and Silver. Because you remember the old
Yeah,
man who would carve apricorns into Pokeballs?
I think there is still I don't know if the apricorns are being used for Pokeball because
Hmm.
you mine an ore, and that ore makes the Pokeballs.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, is it like do they have like mining and stuff like that for like crafting?
Hold your horses. This isn't like Minecraft. You don't dig. It's it's like your MMO mining. There's a ore vein that's sticking out of the ground,
Right.
and you throw a Pokeball. You throw a partner Pokemon at it, and it pecks like and it attacks the ore vein and gives you your ore.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah,
I mean,
so you don't have like pickaxes or nothing. Like if your things are Rowlet,
yeah.
if you're starting Pokemon's Rowlet, which I think I'm going to start Rowlet because our starter choices are Rowlet, Cyndaquil, and Piplup.
Oh man, those are some well, yeah, those are some good choices. Admittedly, Cyndaquil's a solid fire type, but
I never liked Cyndaquil.
what? He's so strong. Like
I like
Typhlosion's really strong.
well, yeah, no, Typhlosion is really. I don't like monotypes.
Oh man, I'm a monotype fan.
Like I don't. I'm all about the coverage, and a monotype just doesn't do anything for me.
Oh man, pure water all day, every day, baby. Like that, I'm all about that solid water type, dude. Um,
Okay, I guess I did play. I guess I did use the water type in Sword Shield, the water starter in Sword Shield because
yeah.
I wasn't allowed to choose. I wasn't allowed to choose the fire starter because I typically choose the fire starter.
Yeah, well, I mean, admittedly, if I remember correctly, if you start out with Cyndaquil in the beginning of like Gold and Silver, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. But like he gets more powerful the longer you go on. And usually, if you actually know what the hell you're doing, you probably have some form of coverage to deal with the fact that he's not good in the very beginning.
Right?
So,
No. Like I was just um
it's kind of like the idea of like why Meganium or I should say, um, Chikorita is
Mhm.
better than Bulbasaur in the beginning. Because
Yeah,
Bulbasaur is weaker because it has the poison type, even though that's a dual typing.
yeah. But anyway, so I've just never liked Typhlosion.
That's
So,
okay.
Cyndaquil, the Typhlosion line, I never really liked it. So I'm,
But
so I
Cyndaquil's so
believe,
cute.
I, eh,
He's got the little nose, his little pokey
yeah,
nose.
no, he goes fire, but I mean, come on, it's Rowlet.
Yeah, well, and Piplup's really strong too. So
Piplup is strong.
yeah,
I think it's Piplup, because the um
Empoleon
and
is crazy, stupid strong.
oh,
Like
you don't have you don't have the actual Diamond Pearl water starter.
oh,
Uh
because Empoleon is a beefcake, dude.
oh no, Empoleon is definitely going to be my Jiminy Jam,
Yeah,
and
like
the Sinnoh starters are in the wild, all of them.
oh, that's
And
cool.
you best believe I'm gonna have me an Empoleon if it's a
Yeah,
possibility.
Empoleon beefcake, big beefy steel water type. Yes, baby. And he's got that cool ass like crown on his face. He looks so rad. He's so strong and he's so cool looking.
I want to
Oh,
think it's the I want to think it's the sun. I think it's um
I'm trying to remember which one's the actual water starter.
yeah, which one's the actual water starter. I'm
Yeah,
trying to get there.
that's okay.
Um
Well, okay, so if you mentioned Rowlet, Rowlet was Sun and Moon, which was
Gens
six. That was Generation 6,
No, that was Generation 7. No,
Generation 7. Oh, that's right, because Generation 6 was the one that I
XY.
didn't play, X and Y, yeah.
Mm.
Um so and then Cyndaquil, God, they have so many generations they could be picking from. Um oh, you know what? What is it, the
It's the
water
otter.
fairy type? Yeah, the water
It's
fairy type.
it's the otter. Um
Yeah.
oh, what's his name?
Um
Um
I know which one you're talking about.
whichever one Samurott becomes, or whichever one becomes Samurott.
Oh, that's the he's water fighting, right? Not water fairy. Water fairy was generation 7, huh? Um
No, that was generation. Yeah, that was Gen 7.
yeah.
That was the uh Pop Leo line.
Oshawott, right? Wasn't
Yeah,
it
Oshawott.
Oshawott?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oshawott.
yeah,
So
Oshawott.
it's Rowlet, Oshawott, and Cyndaquil. I'm
That's a
gonna go
weird
with
lineup.
I'm gonna go with Rowlet,
Yeah, I
because
would Rowlett's the better choice if you have
Rowlet is adorable, but he's also creepy as hell.
when he becomes the weird like ghost
Well,
type later.
no. He's just him, because he does the whole head swivel thing sometimes,
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean,
and
yeah, Rowlett's pretty cute.
like Rowlet, like in the Sun Moon anime
Yeah. Yeah.
seasons, Rowlet was pretty awesome.
That's cool.
Um, but yeah, but we're actually getting Hisuian versions of their third evolution.
Oh, that's interesting.
So we're getting regional variants.
Huh.
Um, Typhlosion is becoming Fire Ghost.
That sounds so cool. That's
Oh my
like
god!
Chandelure.
Oh my god!
It's like
That's
Chandelure. Chandelure is a powerhouse, man. I'd like to see that. That's
yeah.
cool.
Typhlosion is a Fire Ghost. That almost makes me think Cyndaquil might not be half bad. Decidueye is Grass Fighting.
Decidueye.
That's the Rowlet.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Ghost fighting? Really?
Grass Fighting.
Grass fighting? Really?
Yeah.
That's all right, I guess. All right.
So Decidueye become, instead of becoming like grass, because
Grass
or
ghost.
yeah, and Samurot's Water Dark,
I
which
mean, okay.
yeah, I mean it's not. it's not the worst.
Does he actually look cooler at least? Because God, the original Samurott was so dorky looking.
We don't have pitch. Oh, we do. Uh oh my god, they make Decidueye look retarded.
And like grass fighting, like come on, man.
I mean, I can get there because like it can't be as bad as like the 1,000,001 firefighting starters.
Yeah,
Um, oh, I don't know.
it's
Oshawott looks almost remotely like slightly badass.
that's cool. Well, probably because it's based on because if they're going like because Samurott, so it's like a samurai Pokemon. So I mean, Dark Water would make sense. It would be like a Ronin, you know, like um a samurai who has lost his master. So then they become Ronin, which are basically like at that point they're just practically bandits, you know? It's kind
Uh,
of like samurai bandits.
check your Discord.
Oh god. Oh, you're making I was laying down, I was all
Oh,
comfortable.
never
No,
mind then.
it's okay. I'm just messing with you. Don't worry about it.
Never mind then. I just thought you'd be interested.
Did you actually send me a picture?
That's the Samurai.
No, he looks the same. He looks exact. Oh, dude, Typhlosion looks so cool. I like how chill he looks. He's like, yeah, what's it? He's like, yeah,
He's like,
I'm
I'm just here, just all
yeah.
fire and
He's like, yeah, I guess I'm a ghost type
ghost.
now. It's whatever. It's whatever.
I got some
Think
boosty
about
action.
think about kicking back a little bit, lighting up a J, you know? Samurott looks exactly the same with just a darker color palette. That's so stupid. Whatever.
Oh, and
Probably
Decidueye.
the Decidueye is probably going to look ridiculous.
Oh, the Decidueye looks like half retarded.
What is he wearing on his head?
I don't know, but that's not my Decidueye.
So they're like, you know what? Like, remember how cool he looked with the hood, and like how he looked like a badass Robin Hood character. You
Yeah,
know,
he
what would
was
look
like,
really awesome if we made it look like he had a pineapple on his head.
yeah, like remember when he used to be a baller ass like snipey archer. Yeah, now he's just kind of this
He
dunce.
looks like what's it?
He's got a dunce cap. He's
He
just
looks
doing
like
his thing.
he looks like a kappa. You know what a
Yeah.
kappa? Like he's got like a bald spot on the top. Like he's got the leafy head, like the leafy hair, and then he's got the bald spot on the very top with that weird little plume. He looks like a kappa. It's ridiculous. Oh man, whatever. Okay, go ahead and ruin Pokemon again. That's great.
Let's see here.
Oh,
Dialga and Piccola look lame.
Dialga and Palkia.
Yeah.
Are you sending me pictures of them too, or no?
Uh,
You don't have to if you don't want to. It's all good.
I mean, we're here. I'll just show you all the new Hisuian. There's a picture of like all the Hisuian variants.
Oh my god, there's so many of them.
Actually, that's not that bad.
Let's see here. Oh, Growlithe looks really cute. Oh my god, Voltorb and Electrode look amazing. I love them.
Oh yeah, no, they look. That's like they look handcrafted.
They look great.
Yeah, no, that's actually pretty good. That's pretty cool.
It's interesting what they decided to do to Sneasel and Weevil, I guess. I mean, they look all right. I don't know why they needed to be poison fighting. Like, I thought Ice Dark was pretty cool. I have no idea what that's supposed to be. It looks like there's like some kind of weird bear thing. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Is that supposed to be Ursaring?
I think that's supposed to be Ursaring.
Oh no. Oh no. What have they done to my boy Ursaring? Why? He looks like a mole. He looks like a really fat mole. And then Stantler looks kind of cool, I guess. They kept him normal psychic type though.
That's not Stantler?
It looks exactly like Stantler. How is that
That's
not Stantler?
that is a different evolution of Stantler. It is called Worder.
So it's just so basically what they did,
It's a Sicilian a Sicilian Stantler, but it's
but
called
it,
Worder.
but it's still got the same types as Stantler, and it still looks exactly like Stantler, other than just having a gray coat.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
yeah, but it's got its own region name, Wordeer, and that is your ride Pokemon,
Oh, okay.
or that's one of your ride Pokemon.
I like what they did with Basculin. Basculin looks kind of cool. Look,
Basculegion.
yeah.
That is your surf Pokemon.
Oh, okay. It looks kind of cool. And then they did the Lily Pokemon. They did her dirty, man. She used to be so cute, and now
Dorky.
she looks like a twink. Like she like because like the original Lily, I don't think it was named. Was it Lileep? Is that what it was called? Lileep or something like that?
I
I
don't
can't.
remember.
Yeah, it was really cute, and it was solid grass type, and it was actually really strong as a solid grass type Pokemon. Like she had a really good, like, even though she was solid grass type, she had a really good move pool that you could abuse. And like
They
I
turned
loved
this. They took the Sligo line and made it Dragon Steel.
the
The Sligo.
oh yeah, that's totally unnecessary. They did not
Yeah,
need to do that. Because this
I think those are new. Force of Nat. That's a new force of nature.
So the thing that's really interesting about the Sliggoo line is what made it so powerful is that it was solid dragon type. So like people sometimes don't realize it, but like being solid dragon type with no other typings is stupid crazy strong. I guess it's kind of been nerfed because of fairies, I guess. But
It's
solid
not been
dragon
nerfed. It's not been nerfed that much. Your only real weakness is ice.
yeah, but solid dragon type is really strong, and that's what made the Sliggoo family so powerful, was because they were just solid dragon type. Adding in steel, you're just making another Dialga at that point. And I mean, admittedly, Dialga is really strong, so
I
I
mean,
get.
there was a Dragon Steel new Pokemon in Sword and Shield.
Oh well,
I'd
then
have much rather just had that
uh,
because it looked like Mother F and Godzilla
I just realized that
made of aluminum.
Dialga and Palkia basically look like Arceus.
Yeah,
Did you notice that?
yeah, they have that Arceus thing on the back.
Yeah. What? Why did they do that? I assume there's reasons why they did that. It's probably like related to
And there's probably a good storyline reason.
yeah, like it's like
And I'm
Arceus decided to take the bodies of Dialga and Palkia in order to do some nonsense that doesn't, in order to rip the space time continuum through their bodies.
my one of my biggest hopes for this Legends Arceus game
Yeah.
is that the storyline isn't told off screen like it was like most of the the story beat parts in Sword and Shield
Yeah.
happened away from the player,
Oh.
and then the player was told about them after the fact. Like it would do the lazy thing, like the world rumbles. So you're like, oh, you got to run over here, and then one of the characters would be like, man, you just miss it. There was like three dudes, and they were all like bumping uglies, and
Like they would like be like, "Oh, like what was I watching where they did something like that where they were just like, "Oh yeah, like this totally sick." Like, oh, I just remembered I was watching a let's play of a video game, and they were joking around about like how they had to make budget cuts. So like the inside joke of the budget cuts were like, oh, like the screen would glitch out. And they'd be like, "Oh man, did you see that crazy wild jump? That was a sick animation, man!" Like,
yeah.
like you
It's
totally should have seen that jump. It was awesome. Like,
yeah. Yeah, no. Sword and Shield did that to the story, did that to the storyline the entire time, and it really wasn't even that great of a story.
Well, and it totally makes sense that they would do something like that. I mean, obviously, it was made by an indie game company that had to make budget cuts. So,
Right, right.
they don't have a lot of money to be able to throw around for big, expensive, animations and cutscenes and things like that. Like, we're talking about Game Freak. They're really, really small at this point.
Yeah,
You got
yeah.
to
Like
give them a little credit.
this Game Freak, they don't know how to make games. They've never made big multi-billion-dollar selling games before.
Yeah, they don't know what that's all about. So you gotta give them a little bit of credit here. There's only
So yeah,
so much money they can throw around.
so yeah, I might actually go with the Typhlosion at this point because that Decidueye is just nasty.
He looks like a kappa. It's so funny to me.
But no,
Oh
you do
man.
you go out on research missions. So
Yeah.
that's why I said this was kind of like Pokemon Snap.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as you build up, as you level up in your research level, the map, exposes itself to you,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have boss fights with these, you know,
Excuse me.
big Pokemon, which then eventually become your ride Pokemon. Which the icon in the UI for your ride Pokemon looks incredibly a lot like the UI icons for the Primal Beast powers in uh Breath of the Wild.
Okay. I don't know very much about Breath of the Wild, so I'll just trust your word on that one.
But the transition between let's say you're riding a word deer, but then but then you come across a cliff, you need to fly.
Mm-hmm.
You press over to get to your braviary,
Okay.
which is your fly Pokemon, and you press the button and just smoothly transitions to flying.
That's kind of neat.
So it will so you don't have to like muddle around in menus, drop one, go into your box, pull out one HM slave for another HM slave.
It kind of sounds like the analog hotkeys that they had in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, where you could pick like you would have your four directional analogs, and like they're all hotkeys, and then you could just like while you could switch from your bike to pressing the analog key that you need to be able to hop on to what's his face, the psychic dragon Latios or whatever, and then it would just immediately like take off into the sky, and then you'd fly around the map. So
Right. Yeah. So that was good to see that it wasn't a UI kill to transition between one transport Pokemon to another.
okay, that's kind of neat.
But I'm excited. I will definitely uh be updating after I played it for a while. So and maybe in 2 weeks people will hear um my first takes.
That'd be kind of cool. Yeah. It's kind of funny because I was kind of in the mood to talk about Pokemon as well before we even decide to talk about this, because something I was thinking about trying to do is I was thinking about trying to replay Soul Silver on my 3DS just for funsies, and that kind of got me like thinking about Pokemon a little bit, because Soul Silver is such a great game. It's like one of the best Pokemon games ever made, pretty much. And I was kind of thinking about one of the things that I was kind of looking into was I think the last time we talked about Pokemon was literally in the last podcast, but we only briefly talked about it for like a very short amount of time. And one of the things we mentioned was getting like the perfect, like how easy it is like to just find like a perfect, like you get to know somebody in the community, and you get like a perfect like 6 out of 6 ditto, so that you can hammer out like your perfect team or whatever for breeding or whatever. And I was thinking about finding out if there was, because I feel like there's a way, because I used to do stuff like this a long, long time ago. Is for some of the older online games for the old Nintendo DS, you could have like a an online generator that would basically pretend to be a router, right? And you would basically like set it up as a program on your computer, and then it would send out like a signal telling your game that it is itself an online router, and you would connect to it with your DS with a special like router code, and it would basically convince the game that not only was it a router but also that it was a person who was wanting to make a trade with you. And then you would generate like the perfect monster that you want to get in the game, and then you would transfer it over and you would do a fake trade, and it would give you like whatever you generated. And I was thinking about trying to see if those still work, you know, for like the old like Heart Gold and Soul Silver games. And because I remember I did it with, what game was it? I think it was like Black and White, which was Generation 5, I think. And I mean, I didn't do a whole lot. Like I didn't build competitive teams off of that or anything. I just did it for funsies, you know, just dicking around, kind of like when you would Game Shark a Pokemon game and you'd be like, well, it's not like this is going to be for competitive purposes or anything like that. But I thought it would be kind of fun to see if I could get one of those to like work, and then connect it to the game, and then generate like a perfect ditto, and then start grinding away to build like a legitimate, like, you know, competitive team. But the reason why is because Heart Gold and Soul Silver have like all the original battle facilities, like Battle Factory, Battle Tower, you know, like I think they have Battle Castle in there, like all the original battle like facilities. And then they
Right.
also have like the Pokemon Olympics and stuff like that. So, by the way, just got to say, Heart Gold and Soul Silver, if you guys have never played those games, they are packed with like features. There's so much shit to do in those games. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Uh, um, the Pokemon Company Game Freak used to care about these re-releases.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too, is because like first of all, Heart Gold and Soul Silver are masterpiece games. But Fire Red and Leaf Green, which was like the first remakes they ever did,
Yeah.
those games were so good. Oh my god, like
Oh
Fire
yeah.
Red and Leaf Green were so good.
Yeah. Fire
Um,
Red, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, ORS,
yeah,
like the
Omega
first,
Ruby and Alpha Sapphire was amazing as well. Like I adore those games.
and then they gave us Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl.
I I lost touch after Sun and Moon. I felt like Sun and Moon were filthy, filthy, awful Pokemon games. It was like I considered Sun and Moon to be the worst Pokemon games I've ever played, and that's when I stopped. Um,
No, they weren't very fun.
yeah,
The the I like the region variant idea,
yeah, it was
and
okay.
I like that it stuck around. Well, the thing is that there's only so many times you can look at like you can look at the same old Raichu sprites before that gets boring.
Yeah.
So now they change up the Raichu sprite a little bit.
Well, and they made Raichu actually competitive.
Imagine that.
Yeah. um
Now
yeah, I mean, it
now he's
was,
surfing around on his tail.
but I mean, like, but then okay, so like let's say like, you get your competitive monsters in Sun and Moon. Well, then what do you do with them? You just challenge the battle tree like a billion times. That was it. There's just the battle tree. That's it.
Right.
Like, I mean, yeah, you could play online competitively, but then you're gonna have to run against like multi-scale Dragonite a billion times. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's not even half of it.
Yeah.
Like everything is an effing mega evolution at this point.
Yeah, it's true. I don't think anybody really runs multi-scale Dragonite anymore. I don't think that's actually a I
No,
assume that's probably not a viable competitive style anymore, but
it's all about your lead mega,
yeah.
which I was kind of glad that that for Gen 8
Yeah.
mega maxing
Yeah.
or for Gigantamaxing.
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
So it's a kind of a nerfed version of of a it's kind of a nerf version of Mega Evolution, but it also means that your Gigantamaxing Pokemon, it, Gigantamaxing Pokemon are not prevalent in online battles.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I don't think that in online battles you can Gigantamax.
Was there any you cuz you're talking about Sword and Shield?
Yeah, I'm talking about Sword and Shield. Sword and
Okay.
Shield.
Cuz I never played those games. Did they have any battle facilities in Sword and Shield?
Yeah, you had a battle tower.
Just Battle Tower?
Yeah, you had a tower.
Okay. Like, but see, that's like what I'm talking about, though. Like, because, like, when I was mentioning Heart Gold and Soul Silver, they have so many battle facilities, and not only do they have so many, like, like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's like, what do you get in Sword and Shield? I mean, you get Battle Tower. You're just like, for real? Like, because I know they had definitely one Battle Plaza for sure, but I think what happened was they had a Battle Plaza in Johto, and then they also had the Safari Zone, which had like multiple different ways of like doing Safari Zone. And then they had the Pokemon Olympics, which were super cool because the Pokemon Olympics introduced like six different mini games. And like the thing that was really cool is that the Pokemon Olympics like had stats for Pokemon that were totally unique from battling stats. So like for example, like Sunkern, which is like notoriously famous for being one of the worst Pokemon ever, had like some of the best stats for the Pokemon Olympics. So you would raise a team of Sunkern to compete in the Pokemon Olympics or whatever. It was so ridiculous. But yeah, and it's just like, but that's what I mean is like that's one of the reasons why like I really don't like the new Pokemon games is because like, oh, what do you do when you beat the game? It's like it's this battle tower, I guess. Like you just do battle tower over and over again. I still think that unless I'm playing the older games, I'm kind of still feeling done
Oh
with
yeah, no. Like the end game for Pokemon hasn't been really good since Emerald.
yeah, like you're talking about OG Emerald, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess ORS has the same end game.
Well, no, because Emerald had a battle plaza. Like they actually had a plaza where it had like six or seven different like battle facilities. Like in fact, that's where the battle plaza was invented. Like battle tower and stuff like that existed in Ruby and Sapphire, but they didn't have a plaza until Emerald. And then Emerald was so interesting, by the way. I just got to say, like Emerald, I mean, unless they finally cracked the code, Emerald not only had the Battle Plaza, but they also had notoriously intelligent AI that like nobody was able to figure out how it functioned like outside of that game. It was really weird. Because the battle brains and like also the higher up NPCs that you would fight in the battle plazas, they would do tactical swapping and stuff like that. Like it was crazy.
Yeah,
And they also had
AI.
legendary Pokemon too.
Yeah, AI that actually fought like competitive Pokemon players.
Yeah, exactly. Um, so I mean, yeah, the Emerald was great, and Heart
Oh,
Gold and Soul Silver
Emerald,
were great too.
Emerald still I believe is like the best Pokemon game ever.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I usually say that Emerald is my number one, and then Heart Gold and Soul Silver are my number two. But I mean, it's like, and a lot of it too also is partially nostalgia because I remember like Emerald is what taught me competitive battling. Like I never understood competitive Pokemon battling until I played Emerald, you know? Because
Yeah.
Emerald is the game where you hit the wall, you know?
One
Face
thing
yeah, go ahead.
one thing I do like Sun and Moon for was the Z moves.
Yeah, so Z moves were interesting. I gotta admit that I did like some of that stuff because like one of the and the thing is what I loved about Z moves in Sun and Moon was that they took moves that didn't do anything and then gave them additional abilities. Because like most of the time when people are like talking about Z moves, they always remember the Z moves that have like the crazy ridiculous animations and the explosive like damage or whatever.
That's what I loved about them. Like,
Really?
yeah, like
Yeah.
my thing for the Z moves was because I mean at this point Pokemon like the thing is like up to the point of the Z moves like Pokemon Pokemon battles was like your Pokemon kind of vibrated a little bit.
Mhm.
Maybe you got an effect move. Maybe you got an effect like show up on your opponent's Pokemon.
Yeah.
But the animations were just so bland and lifeless. And then in comes the Z moves, and you're like, oh my god, these are like full blown anime finishing moves.
um yeah, I
I sent you a video. One of the things that like one of my favorite memes to come out of Sun and Moon
mhm.
was
S-
Rollick getting like owned by a Litten.
I have witnessed the many atrocities of this planet. I have seen war, famine, plague, torture. I have seen the corruption of this very planet we live on. And yet I have lived through all of it. I have stayed strong. I have stayed strong for the ones I love, my family. But this is where it ends. I am looking into the face of oblivion. And it is not welcoming.
Doing
so
uh Raging Inferno, like Fiery Inferno.
my memorable Z move was, and I built a whole team around this one Z move. Was it was where is it? I gotta go over here. I'm looking it up real quick so I can remember it correctly. I built a entire team around basically so to really explain it because people think it's weird when I try to explain it. Um, I built an entire team around Wigglytuff. I built a 3-man team because most competitive play in Sun and Moon was 3-man teams, which
Yeah,
was
three v three.
yeah, 3v3. And I built an entire team around Wigglytuff. And the Wigglytuff would do a Z move for I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh, I think it was gravity. Was it gravity? Was it Z move gravity? Like if I had the game in front of me, I'd know for sure, but
I'm pretty sure my kid could tell you about it.
yeah, it was basically the whole thing was because like so the thing that made Z move so cool in my brain was not the big animations, but so every single move in the game, every single attack in the game, no matter what kind of attack it is, whether it's a status, a special, or a physical, every single move in the game got a Z move. And what it did was it would do the normal effect, but it would also add additional effects to it in the process. So like, and a lot of people kind of like didn't really think about that. Like they would like mostly ignore it or not care. But some of the moves got really crazy, stupid strong. And I can't exactly remember which one it was, but Wigglytuff had access to one particular move that was a status move. I thought it might be gravity, but I can't remember exactly for sure. And it would do the normal effects which were kind of lame, but then it would boost your attack and your special attack and your speed up one stage. So like it was crazy. So like you would basically set up the battlefield with your other monsters, and then you would throw out Wigglytuff, who was a little squishy, and then you would because I think also Wigglytuff had like baton pass or something like that, maybe. I can't remember. But you would then
Baton
break out.
Pass is fun.
Yeah, baton pass is broken. And then you would do the Z move for Wigglytuff, and people would see you do it, and they'd be like, "What are you doing? That's stupid. That's a crappy Z move." And then all of a sudden, your attack, your special attack, and your speed would boost one level, and then you would pass it to the next monster, and then you would just have an unstoppable juggernaut of a machine monster, just steamrolling its way through the entire team. It was so cool. Um, but yeah, I feel terrible because I can't remember off the top of my head what Z move it was, but it was crazy. And it was so funny because nobody would ever suspect Wigglytuff. Nobody ever suspects Wigglytuff. That's what makes it so powerful. I think it might have been gravity, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I really liked Z moves because they did that kind of stuff. Like they had like secret tactics and techniques that were just crazy stupid strong. Um and I liked that. Like it because it made moves that sucked into better moves. You know what I mean? So I liked that. And I mean, yeah, it was always cool to have like the big explosive like animations and all that, but I play a lot more tactically. And when you get to see them like bust out moves that are just like, not normal or unusual or unsuspecting, it's kind of fun because you get that really awesome feeling like you pulled a fast one on your opponent, that always feels awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Do they Oh, wait a minute. Do they even have Z moves in the Arceus game? Is that a thing?
No, no,
Did they have Z moves in Sword and Shield?
no.
Did they have Z moves in anything after Sun and Moon?
I mean, there was only Sword and Shield.
So no. So they did Z moves for one game and then they nixed it, huh?
Yeah, well, that was because the Gigantamax was supposed to be like the mix between Mega Evolution and Z moves.
The flavor of the week.
Yeah.
Oh man. That's Pokemon for you. They come out with a brand new feature and then they cut 10 other features. Yeah, I kind of lost track of what I was saying before, which was that I was kind of wanting to play the old golden heart gold and soul silver, and then I wanted to try because I thought that like the hardest part of breeding in heart gold and soul silver would probably be getting like a 6 out of 6 ditto or whatever. So I figured if I used like a generator, like a game generator or something like that, like a program for it, then maybe I could like cheat a ditto into the game and then just kind of build like a perfect team off of that. And then just really try to like tactically and creatively fight my way through all of the battle facilities and stuff like that. I don't know. Have you ever used stuff like that before, Lettuce, to like, you know, get it like be better at the games or anything like that?
Not really.
No.
I was always just kind of a dirty casual. I never really fought online
Mhm.
like seriously. And until Sword and I didn't do any like real like versus battling until Sword and Shield when I did a lot of versus battling with my kid.
Nice. Yeah. I got really competitive in Generation 5. And Generation 4 was when I was testing the waters. So like Generation 4 was when I was like kind of like Generation 3 is what taught me the concept of competitive battling. And then Generation 4 is when I was experimenting because Generation 4 first introduced real online play. So I was like testing the waters in Generation 4. And then in Generation 5, I actually got good at it and started taking it pretty seriously. That was about it. I played a little bit competitively in Generation 6, but I stopped. I stopped Generation. I didn't play Generation 7 at all. And then I came back for. Oh wait, no, Generation 7 was Sun and Moon, and I was terrible at it, so I didn't really. I mean, I guess the Wigglytuff team was okay. Like it did all right. But my heyday for competitive battling was Generation 5 for sure. That was when I was actually really good. And I even got into a tournament at one point and like lost in the first round because even though I was good enough to get into the tournament, I wasn't good enough against the guy I was fighting. So whatever.
Hey, you got there, you got to have fun.
Yeah, I had some good memories with that. I ran a primarily water team because water's the best type. Fight me.
Or I'll just shock you.
What's your? Oh no, you wouldn't be able to do that because then I'd throw in Gastrodon, and I'd tell you to get wrecked, son. My OG water team was it ran a Gastrodon for a lot of stuff, and I also had an Armaldo in there for type coverage. So it was like 3 water types, and then I had like Armaldo, and I had I ran a grass type or a fire type in there too. I'm trying to remember who it was. It was pretty beefy. Like it was a beefy team. It was, like I said, it was good enough to get me into the tournament. Like the water team I ran, it was a rain dance team, so it ran like it ran, I think, Politoed, like Rain Dance Politoed, and it ran a Goribus. Goribus was like the queen of my team. And there was an Armaldo and a Gastrodon and a grass type. Who was the grass type? I can't remember.
Roserade? That seems like a pretty good coverage Pokemon.
No,
Typically used.
It wasn't Roserade. It was something else.
I mean, Roserade was my grass coverage in my electric team. Like I typically
Roserade is stupid strong though. That's for sure.
Yeah, I typically use Roserade as my as a coverage Pokemon because grass is like randomly good against a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And if grass doesn't get it, the poison does.
Like, as weird as it might sound, I almost said Sunflora, but I was like, no, there was a team that I had that ran a Sunflora, but it wasn't that team. Which, you should be questioning me immediately because Sunflora is terrible. But it's whatever.
Yeah.
You know what? I got a good question for you. I feel like this is what's your favorite Pokemon, Lettuce?
My favorite Pokemon?
Yeah, tell me what's your favorite Pokemon and why is it your favorite Pokemon?
I would probably have to say the Torchic line.
Really? Like Torchic, Combuskin, and is it Blaze something?
Blaziken.
Blaziken, thank you. Yeah, I knew it had Blaze in there.
I mean, that was I'm a fire trainer.
Okay.
Gen 3 is my favorite.
Hell yeah.
Gen 3 is still my I'm a Gen 3 truther.
Me too.
So
Me too.
So like my my Combuskin line just can't be beat.
That's awesome, man.
And as much crap as I give, like the firefighter typing for the fire starter.
Yeah.
Which is just kind of played out. Because it seems like almost every generation except for Typhlosion.
Yeah. Well, Blaziken started it. Blaziken was the first firefight starter.
Oh yeah, Blaziken was the first firefight.
Yeah.
But there was fire flying, then straight fire,
Yeah.
and then firefight, fire.
Well, that's because, you know why? Because Blaziken got it right. That's why.
Yeah, so it's just like, so you got like, just a bunch of Blaziken clones.
Yeah. That's what happens when you get it right, and you're just like, oh, we just got to keep remaking the good guy, like,
Chimchar.
Yeah.
Yeah, Infernape.
Infernape is stupid strong too, though. But I'd say because like Blaziken isn't Blaziken still competitively viable? Because it's speed boost Blaziken, right? Isn't that still a competitive thing?
I mean, possibly. I mean, Blaziken has a Mega, so
Yeah, that too. Yeah,
I like anything that has a Mega feels like it's
broken.
got viability.
Yeah. I remember at one point wasn't it you who was trying to convince me that like that Mega Sableye is shit tier? Well, because like in my Emerald playthrough, I was constantly like fighting with people. Like, no, shut up, Sableye is great. People were like, bro, you gotta take out the Sableye, and I was like, no, I will not take out the Sableye. I refuse.
I don't think it was a Mega Sableye, but no, Sableye was doing nothing for you, man.
Dude, no, Sableye was great. Actually, there were like, dude, go and rewatch the Emerald streams. Sableye pulls me out of so much bullshit. It's ridiculous. I remember.
Yeah, and I saw. I mean, I'm pretty sure, but there for beginning, Sableye was getting jobbed a lot too.
No, shut up. Sableye's great. I love Sableye. I love Sableye.
I was like I was trying to get you into a psychic Pokemon because you really needed one at the point that you were having problems.
Yeah, well, I ended up in that playthrough. I ended up getting Kadabra, and then I was like, "Well, Kadabra's going to be temporary," and then I ended up like maining it. It's like I can't live without this Kadabra. That's because Alakazam. Well, the whole Kadabra, Abra, and Kadabra and Alakazam are crazy, stupid strong. Like way too strong. Yeah, that's pretty cool though. I never figured you for a Blaziken kind of guy. I mean, I wouldn't be able to predict what kind of Pokemon would be your favorite, but I'm actually a little surprised that Blaziken would be your favorite. But that's pretty cool, dude. Generation 3 is my favorite generation for sure.
I mean, Gen 3 is where it's at.
Yeah. I even like some of the weird ones from Generation 3. Like, one of my favorite Generation 3 Pokemon, like, it's not my number one favorite, but it's one that I like a lot that a lot of people don't like very much, but I think it's awesome, is Swalot. Do you remember Swalot? The purple blob with the orange mustache? Come on.
I think so.
Yeah. I love Swalot. Swalot is great. He's so nice. I like him. And I would run like Swalot, and you would teach him Stockpile, Swallow, and then Toxic, and then if I remember correctly, he can learn Flamethrower. So like he was so beefy, like he was just so nasty. It was great. And you would just like you would stockpile 3 times, and you would like Toxic, and then stockpile, and like they would either be dead, or if they weren't dead, you would just swallow your stockpiles and then heal yourself, and then you'd start over again. And then every once in a while, you'd have to flamethrower something down. So it was perfect. It's so good.
Oh, I did not realize that.
Yeah, dude, Swalot is so good. I love Swalot, and he gets no love.
I was actually like looking over the Gen 8 starters again. None of them dual type.
Really?
Yeah, they don't dual type.
Are you talking about like in their first forms or something?
No forms. All of Gen 8 starters, they stay monotype.
Is that Sword and Shield?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't know that. So like the grass stays grass all the way through, and fire's fire all the way through, and water's
Yeah,
water all the way through.
yeah. I thought Cinderace was firefight.
That's
But it's
interesting. I
not.
didn't know that. Well, I mean, because I never played the game, so obviously I would never know that. But yeah. You know what? I didn't mention it. But since I went ahead and asked you, and I totally want to bring it up on my end. My favorite Pokemon of all time is a Pokemon called Goribus. Do you remember Goribus?
Not especially, no.
Nobody ever remembers Goribus. But that's okay because Goribus is like the greatest water Pokemon ever. It was the main end all be all of my water team. It was like the shining monument that like my water team was based off of back when I was competitive. And this is how you played it is it would have Surf, Ice Beam, Shell Smash, Baton Pass. So broken. Um you would basically what you would do is you would put Gorbis out and you would evaluate the situation. You would say, okay, can I stab with Surf? If not, then you ask yourself, do I need to get rid of a weakness with an Ice Beam? If not, then you move on to the next step, which is, do I need to Shell Smash to make sure that I can body something with Surf or Ice Beam? If so, then you Shell Smash, and then you say, okay, well, if I can't body with Surf and I can't body my weakness with Ice Beam, then should I solve the answer by baton passing to something else? So like Goribus is just like it does everything. Like that's what I loved about it. It does everything. It's like it can either body with Surf, it can get rid of its weaknesses with Ice Beam, or it can boost itself to body with Surf or Ice Beam. And if none of those options apply, then you just baton pass it to the next monster that is applicable. This is so good.
Yeah, no, it sounds pretty good.
It's so good. It's the best. It's the best Pokemon. So there you go. That's my favorite. And Goribus was also a pink eel, a bright pink eel, is my favorite.
I also like most false swiping Pokemon.
Oh yeah, for
Thunder-
catching purposes.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
my in Sword and Shield, I've got a Cobalion. Max. I got a max level Cobalion with Thunderwave false swipe.
That's the Steel Fighting legendary, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that guy. He's one of the samurai Pokemon.
Yeah, he was one of the four swords. Yep.
Yeah. Terrakion was the really stupid, crazy one.
But no, the DLC gave us a Cobalion.
Nice.
And I use that to
catch monsters.
Yeah, just as a it's the only Pokemon on my team right now, and I just use it to catch Pokemon if I need to catch Pokemon. But I don't have to because I've got a full living dex for Sword and Shield. So
nice.
I'm done with that game.
Yeah, I used to have like a combo of I used to use a Vileplume and a Breloom for catching Pokemon. And it was that I would use the Vileplume to use Sweet Scent to attract Pokemon. And then the Breloom had Spore to put things to sleep. And I think it also had it had something else that made it easier for catching stuff, but I can't remember what it is now. I don't know if Breloom had false swipe or not. Yeah, it's whatever. But I remember because the Breloom that I used to use for catching stuff, I called him Bag'em and Tag'em. Just make it really obvious that his sole purpose was for catching monsters. Oh man, too good.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely am kind of excited to hear what the Arceus game is going to be like for you. Like
I'm excited to play it. I kind of half wish I could I had a capture card that I could run my Switch through.
I was literally just about to say it would be so cool if you could stream it.
That'd be something I'd be interested in streaming if I had a capture card.
Yeah.
But I don't own a capture card,
Yeah.
and I'm not.
They're really
And
expensive, aren't they?
they're. I mean, it's 200.
Which is
Problem is, the
that's
problem is,
expensive in my book.
the problem is, I don't think I have the extra um PCI Express slot on my motherboard
Oh.
because I built a small system
Mhm.
and I used an ITX motherboard with only the one slot, and the one slot, of course, is my video card.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I'd have to get a USB one.
So one thing that I kind of like was thinking about, you mentioned that in the Arceus game that a major point of doing what you're supposed to do is you're researching Pokemon. What does researching entail? Like, are you like watching it in its natural habitats and then you're like taking notes or something, or like or are you taking pictures of it, or what is that? Do you
you're
know or?
you're capturing a certain number of them. You're performing certain tasks against certain Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
So you get like, throw this fruit at a Pokemon, see what it does. Throw this
Okay.
fruit at at this Pokemon, see what it does.
That's literally Pokemon Snap because you can throw
Yeah,
apples and stuff like that.
yeah. So it's the game feels like it's kind of anchored more towards the person who explores and fills a Pokedex, which is basically my thing in the Pokemon games was just um, beating the story and filling the Pokedex.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what those were my completion goals in Pokemon games, and I kind of hate and as such I sort of hated the end game in most Pokemon games.
Like the competitive stuff, like the towers and stuff like that.
Yeah, the towers or even like the league battles.
Yeah.
Because I mean, at that point, I'm like I like the boss battles against the legendary Pokemons. I don't like the boss rush of the league battles
Mhm. Mhm.
because
Yeah.
by the time you beat the legendary Pokemon, you're housing the league Pokemon. Like by the time that you've gotten your legendary Pokemon,
Yeah.
you're going to be able to house the league Pokemon.
Mhm. Yeah, at that point, it's just a measurement of tedium, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm kind of looking forward to this game because it feels like the primary goal is the fill the is legitimately your primary goal is complete your Pokedex,
Mhm.
and it is simply not just capture, got to catch them all.
Sure. Sure.
It's it's got to find them all and occasionally put your thumb in their bum.
Sure, man. Sure.
Like, so I'm looking forward to it. So
Okay.
it feels like if it feels kind of like and again, I mean, I'm gonna say that it feels like Breath of the Wild, which feels like a Skyrim port, which feels like a Skyrim mod. So it's a mod of a Skyrim mod, and I mean, I'm just as much of a Skyrim head as you are. Maybe not as much. I'm more of a fall. I'm more of a Fallout person
Okay.
than a Skyrim person. But
Have you been playing any Skyrim lately?
no,
Okay.
I have a life. I have a job I have to go to occasionally, and
What are you trying to say about me, huh? What are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say you're a slacker.
You're right, I am.
Uh, but and there's other games that I play. We're in the middle of the football the football postseason,
Mm-hmm.
so I've been playing Madden, kind of just getting into because I've been really into to the footballs lately.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, for the past like secretly among unbeknownst to any of you or our listeners, like NFL football has been one of my all-consuming uh, occupations pretty much since September,
Nice.
and the season is almost over. There was a game that I was telling you about last week that I was going to give a try. The Artful Escape.
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
Yeah,
I thought you said that you were already playing it and you liked it quite a bit.
I know. I said I had seen a lot of it, and it was something I'd like to play.
Oh, okay.
So like right after I got off the call with you, I downloaded it. I bought it and downloaded it and played it for a few hours, and it's exactly what it looked like.
Okay. A
So
walking simulator?
it's a 2D it's a 2D walking simulator
Okay.
with a fairly decent narrative and some pretty good soundscaping. But it's a walking simulator that gets interrupted with a game of Simon Says.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Um,
do you enjoy it? Like, is it pretty good or?
I the gameplay does drag it down.
Okay.
Like it gets tedious. It gets tedious. Um, One of the things that you can do, but the problem is it boils down to holding right and it's your whole instead of holding down right, it's hold down right, hold down a button, and occasionally press the jump button
Mm-hmm.
in order because you find out really quickly your walking speed is ass, your jumping speed is amazing, and you have a double jump and a save lunge,
Mm-hmm.
which not only help you run faster or move faster, but it also looks and sounds cool when you do it.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to break up the tedium of walking in your walking simulator, you kind of have to do these things. So that was a little change, but again, it's uh, walk to the right or walk to the left, and occasionally play a game of Simon Says.
Well, I mean, but that can be pretty fun. I mean, after all, you're the one who sent me the Tetris game, which is pretty fun for Tetris.
Yeah,
So I mean,
I bought the whole series on that game. I bought
you would.
I bought the whole series
Yeah.
because it was cheap and I had credits burning my pocket.
Sure, man.
It turns out you don't even need to play Tetris to get to the pornography.
Of course not. Of
You
course
can
not.
literally skip the Tetris.
Are you
And
for real?
just-
Because that is not something that I personally noticed. I wouldn't be surprised if it's in there, but
You can skip the Tetris and it goes straight to the dating sim part.
that's so good. That's so good. By the way, I think we talked about it last time. The dialogue in that game is the funniest shit. Like, the interactions between the characters is some of the funniest shit I've ever read. Like,
It's like the
it's
cringiest.
so fun, but it's like it's not like yes, it's cringy. Like you said, it's cringy,
It's
but
it's cringe as hell.
it's
And
so funny.
it's an obvious Japanese dating sim that's written by an American.
Oh god, it's so funny. Like
And it's like an American trying to pretend like a 30-year-old American who's trying to pretend like he knows what a Japanese dating sim writer would write.
yeah,
Also, how the elite kiddies would talk to like the elite gamer kiddies would talk to each other.
yeah. I literally think that my favorite part of that game is the dialogue. It is like it's so good. Like I remembered like like playing that game and just being excited about watching the characters talk to one another because it's so funny. It is so freaking hilarious. And I love the another thing that I love about that game is how they try to add this extreme competitive streak to Tetris. Like they're them constantly talking about like how important it is to like be multiple moves ahead of your opponent, and how it is you have to talk trash to your opponent to get in their headspace to get them off their game. And it's like, bro, it's Tetris. It's Tetris, man. And it's not even like Tetris, because like there is like a competitive form of Tetris that I've played that's really fun, where you're like actually battling with other people playing Tetris. And this game of Tetris is not that.
No, it's just like easy Tetris.
Yeah. It's so funny. Like, I don't get me wrong, like I can't hate that game. I absolutely adore it. It's so fun and it's so funny. And I like
Also, I don't know if I've ever publicly thanked you for Foodafix Dick Dine and Dash.
You're the one who was wanting it so bad. I was like, "Oh yeah, this is what I'm getting this man for Christmas."
and I played about a third way through it. It's definitely a graphic novel.
Oh man, I'm so glad. Are you actually enjoying it? Well, I mean, while you played it, did you enjoy it?
For the
it's
controls,
okay.
The thing is it's like the text crawl goes from really slow to auto skip everything.
Oh no.
So it's either really low on the on the text crawl, or I don't read anything. The Fuda scenes are very nice.
I'm so glad I got that for you for Christmas.
Thanks, buddy.
Hey man, you were talking it up like crazy, and I was like, well, I know what I'm getting this man for Christmas.
I don't know if I was talking it up like crazy. I was complaining because you buy one, you buy one, anime dating sim, and your Steam store page becomes nothing but, anime dating sims, and then like in the middle of it, I'm like, oh, Fuda Dick Dine and Dash. I mentioned that because that was the one that stood out.
Yeah.
So you took that as like extreme interest.
I recall that you told me that you were interested in playing it. That's what I remember.
Because it's Foodaboo.
So I made the right choice then.
Yeah, I mean.
So what's the problem?
Like, I think you could have just guessed without me saying anything. If you would have saw Fudu in your in your Steam listings, you'd have been like, "Hey, that's a Rob thing."
I do actually remember.
He does love him some Fuda.
I went kind of crazy on Christmas to like, because like I'd skimped on gifts for people for a few years, for the last few Christmases, because I was like not doing good on cash. And this year I had like a good amount of cash that I'd saved up plus some extra stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go crazy this Christmas. I'm going to buy like video games for like all of my favorite people, like my family members and my friends, which is something that I had not done for a while. And I was like, okay, well, I can get this game for my sister. This game is for my stepmom, who's also a gamer. And then like, I was like, okay, like, I got this game for Perp. I got this game for Cinder. I kind of like went down my list, and I was like, I was like, Lettuce. oh man, what game can I get him? And I was like thinking real hard, and I was like thinking back, and I was like, is there a game that he mentioned that he really wanted at some point? And I was like, I feel like there was something. And then I remembered. I remembered Fuda Dine and Dash. And I was like, yeah, that's what Lettuce wants for Christmas.
Got him.
What do you get the man who has everything? Get him chicks with dicks. That's what you get him.
Tasty.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I want to say something I saw on Game Pass made me very happy for the potential future of Game Pass.
Yeah.
I think now free with Game Pass, I can get Stardew Valley.
Oh, nice. That's what I got my stepmom for Christmas.
Right.
Yeah.
But that makes me think that his next game is probably also going to end up on Game Pass for free.
Ooh, that would be kind of nice.
Yeah.
That's the Haunted Chocolatier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks pretty cool. I even though I'm really excited to play that game, I don't know if I could give it a serious playthrough. I don't know if I could do it. Cuz Stardew Valley, like it's such a time investment, you know, and it's hard for me to get into it for the long haul, you know. Like I definitely got some good amount of hours into Stardew Valley, but nothing hardcore serious. So even though I'm really excited to like actually try and play it, I don't know like how long I could actually stick to it, you know? Do you think you could dedicate your time to it?
I dedicate like 15 minutes, still like to this day, dedicate 15 minutes to Animal Crossing.
It's true. Do you dedicate a similar time slot to Stardew Valley?
I've yet to play Stardew Valley because I just now found out that it's free with the Xbox with the PC Game Pass.
Oh, for some reason I know you just mentioned like that it's free, but I always thought that you've already played that game. I don't know.
No, that's you're thinking of Carly.
I was just kind of surprised that you were all excited for Haunted Chocolatier because I just assumed that you'd already played Stardew Valley.
No, I've always wanted to get into Stardew Valley because I liked Harvest Moon.
Okay.
And this game, it always looked like it was up in my alley, but I just never got into it. And then I saw the Stardew Valley guy was going to release another game, and it looked pretty neat as well.
Well, definitely give Stardew Valley a go, dude. I think you'd really like it, especially if you're like a big fan of Animal Crossing. You know, you'd probably love Stardew Valley. I mean, in case that wasn't already obvious, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am actually installing Stardew Valley on my computer for free.
Nice.
While we record this podcast, it's downloading right now.
Nice. I did buy it, but I bought it when it was on sale, so I don't feel bad about it at all.
Yeah. But anyway, man, I guess we should be getting going.
Yeah, this is a long one. But it was fun. I enjoyed it. So
yeah,
I just we gotta go ahead and wrap it up. And first of all, I just wanted to say thank you all for listening to this episode of The Imaginary Boys. And if you haven't already, please think about liking and commenting and subscribing if you haven't done those things already. Hit that notification bell that we can know when we're going to do things. If you want to check out Lettuce, his link is down below in the description. And there's also other wonderful things down in the description below, such as PayPal and Streamlabs. All donations are greatly appreciated. So thank you so much if you so choose to do that. And love to give a wonderful shout out to the amazing Patreon members, which include Bo Falcon, Fajouk Enterprises, James P., the lovely Miss Rebecca, as well as Scorpiogeist. Thank you so much, Patreon members, for supporting me on a regular basis. You guys are wonderful. And I guess other than that, we have been the Imaginary Boys. Good night.
I have witnessed the many atrocities of this planet. I have seen war, famine, plague, torture. I have seen the corruption of this very planet we live on. And yet I have lived through all of it. I have stayed strong. I have stayed strong for the ones I love, my family. But this is where it ends. I am looking into the face of oblivion. And it is not welcoming.